Welcome to Gen Z Journey. Today we have Tong with us. Tong is born in Penang, Malaysia in the year 2001. She's studied finance in Queen's University, Belfast, and she's currently studying Master of Science, Finance and Private Equity in LSE, London. And she is actually a content creator sharing her student life as well. So, Tong, thanks for coming onto this podcast. Did I miss any parts about your interesting life?
I'm pleasure to hear. Thanks for having me. So basically, you kind of did a good intro for myself. I would say if something I want to add on, um, during my free time, I do enjoy cooking a lot, meeting friends, and cooking with my friends. Yeah,
Seems like there's a lot of emphasis on cooking, which is amazing.
yeah. Food is kind of my comfort place. Like that's something I like to do during free time.
Okay. I think definitely we'd love to dive deeper into that. But before this, first, you studied finance in
Yeah.
Queen's University, Belfast. What was your plan back then?
So, for me, I know during my high school, science is not for me. Plus, I'm not that artisty kind of girl, and I'm more into the business area. So I would say out of all business degree, finance kind of caught my eye, where I'm curious on, learning on how you allocate your money in that most efficient way, managing your personal finance. So I think, yes, I do I I don't know what I want to get out of it, but I know if I would get a degree, I would get something that it's useful for my next 5 to 10 years. So I thought finance would be a great degree. So learning on that, nitty gritty details on finance. So my plan, technically I don't have a plan, but kind of I know what I want to do. I know it's something businessy related, but I don't know what area I want to go. So also I know that I want to see another side of the world after my 20 years old living in Malaysia. I know that I want to explore new things, meet new people in my early 20s. So I do think study abroad in school. And so for the context, I was the first in my family to study abroad. And it's kind of like, helping my mom to achieve her dream that she did not went to university abroad. So I think that kind of the plan going to study abroad, coming from that Chinese background. So I want to explore that Western culture. So I think that's kind of my plan.
Interesting, really cool. Oh, wow, glad to hear that. Honestly, finance. Recently, kind of recent, yeah. I think earlier this year, I kind of regret that. Like, I should have studied finance. So like part of my interest is going into finance, and then I thought like maybe I should have done that instead of studying computer science. But yep, what's done is done. So now I'm just seeing if I have a chance to break into finance. But besides that, very interesting. I personally, I am the first in my family, honestly, to okay, not the first in the family to study abroad, but the first in my family to live abroad and actually have a life abroad. So, really interesting, and it's more really recent that I really bonded with my aunt over this particular topic because
Mhm.
she, even though she moved to Singapore 3 years ago, and then now she's a citizen of Singapore. Uh, very close, but I'm quite surprised by how much my words, similarities you get just by being an expat of a different country, and then we're
Yeah.
able to just bond with this topic. So yeah, I really get what you mean. It's like very different, but very fun as well. Yeah, but just wondering, why did you choose Belfast or maybe UK in general?
Okay, I would touch on why Belfast. So I choose Belfast because I know out of all the selections I have made, so the way how I choose university is going by, okay, right now I want, so I'm more in that systematic person in terms of, so I know that I want to do a finance degree related. So I search on, right, so what's the top 10 finance degree I can get in UK. And then finance kind of in that top 10. No, sorry, Belfast kind of in that top 10, but it's not something people would know about this city because it's not like popular as London, Birmingham, Manchester. So I kind of do my own research and I see that it's quite a friendly student kind of cost effective city. Plus, I know that I'm there for 4 years. I don't want to spend too much money on like London. It's like too crazy. Like I want to be in more kind of that student city. And also they do have good finance degree, dedicated lecture, and I like the way how they have everything in one street. So for those who don't know, Belfast is in Northern Ireland. So it's kind of a very special city. Sometimes people might think it's in Ireland or because it's in Northern Ireland. So sometimes you do have that conflict, whether are you in Ireland or you are in UK. And for me, I like to be that both that conflict where you sometimes you can be in Ireland, sometimes you can be in UK technically. So I would like them and I like that mixture of both Irish and British culture. So I think that's kind of my accent where I came from. So from that Malaysian culture, that Irish, that British kind of shaped me today. And I think that's why I like why I choose Belfast as the place that I want to go for.
Interesting. Okay, really cool. Funnily, actually, I think 2 episodes ago, we have someone from who's actually currently a Malaysian as well. Spent
Mm-hmm.
8 years in Ireland, so not Northern Ireland, in Ireland, and then
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we could kind of touch on this, and then just wondering, how do you find Belfast? What do you think of Belfast?
Right. So it's a very friendly city in terms of like let's don't compare with London, but I would say Belfast it's a very small city. So basically you have that one city center, you get everything, whatever what you need, and the only entertainment would be drinking. So as me, yeah. So for me, that I do not like drinking. So basically, I don't have entertainment. So my only entertainment would be invite my friends to my place. I cook for them and like house parties. So I'm more a homey person. So like that's kind of my only entertainment in Belfast. But I do like that connected small community back then. And I also do meet lots of good friends and I think that's something kind of shaped me today.
That's lovely. Okay, yeah. Same thing. I mean, 2 episodes ago it was Clement, and then yeah, he said, Irish people are generally really friendly and all
Yeah.
that. I think, honestly, I feel, how do I say? I feel bad for not have traveled to either Northern Ireland or Ireland. Even my intern, I think my intern been to both of them. I haven't like they were able to bond over talking about Ireland, and I was like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I should really go and explore. I was like, I feel so bad about that. But really interesting. I like how you organize, like you created your own entertainment, which is really
Yeah, I mean
amazing.
like you have to if you're not into drinking, basically you don't have any entertainment. Like that's just how you could caught people on a random Wednesday afternoon just drinking on a pub or after lecture, let's go drink. I was like, no, it's not like after lecture I want to go to drink. But like that's just the culture. And that's kind of you know what, I will cook something at my place, come to my place, let's do a house party instead. Like that's what my approach on.
I
Yeah.
see. Do you find it hard to integrate into the lifestyle there? Like in an example, you say like they drink a lot, even though you have figured out your own entertainment.
Yeah.
When you first moved there, do you find it hard to integrate into their lifestyle?
Oh yeah, definitely. I do have like hard time to integrate that how like that obviously that drinking culture and also their Irish accent is something that would drive me crazy. It's like you don't really understand like I've been learning English for my past 19 years and suddenly I don't know what's English. That's something I do find struggle. But I would say along the way, when you have that one Irish friend, you kind of know everything. Like you kind of right, okay, I know why is this happening and why do you like to drink because that's only the entertainment and that's how you make friends.
Interesting. Wow, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's always that's why it's always good to have a local friend. Like they can really bring you deep into the local culture
Yeah.
and give you a lot of local insights and all that.
Yeah.
Well, after so did you recently graduated from Belfast? Is it like Queen's
Yes,
University Belfast?
yes. So I basically spent my 4 years there. So my degree that is it's a 4 year degree. So my first 2 years I was in Northern Ireland, and the third year I went for an industry year in Dublin, so to the island. So I went for an industry year, and then fourth year coming back for final degree. So I just graduated this summer, and right now in London.
See, how did you find the industry year?
All right, the industry year is something that I appreciate a lot. So it first of all, I like the way how it boosts my CV, the way that in internet you as an international student, how would you position yourself in this crazy work? Um, I would say how the the UK working environment and that job search is not easy. And I think that really boosts my CV for that. And I think secondly, the environment part where Dublin is kind of a new city for me. And uh, so Dublin is 2 hours away from Belfast. And but the vibe is a totally different. I would say it's kind of a smaller London vibe. So every yes, so there's like lots of international people they go there for job opportunities. So it's a kind of a fast-paced environment. And also, I mean, in that industry, I learned about like corporate jargons and like how you present yourself in that meeting, and then you do your 9 to 5 work. My first year of being that corporate girly, and you suddenly kind of realize that, 9 to 5 is not 9 to 5. It's always 9 to 9, 9 to 10, or one client call, you get up, get your things done, or how you report to your manager. I think that kind of thing is something I learned throughout the way. And also definitely my internship kind of placed me a good setting and my CV and how I secured studying master in London.
I see. Okay. Very interesting. I think I only because like my program, the reason why I got to come to UK is a 2+1 program. I spent actually two years in Malaysia and then my final year in the UK. And only when I
Mhm.
came to the UK, I realized that, oh my God, they have this option to do a industry year. I was like, oh my God, that would be an amazing thing actually.
Yeah.
If I could have chose again, I would have do that. Like they position you directly into the industry. You can actually have a chance, like guaranteed chance to work, which is you can't take for granted right now. Yeah.
Um, to correct, it's not a guaranteed chance. It's something that you
Really?
need to, yes, it's not. So I do have friends that did not secure that industry year, so they proceed to the final year. But
I see.
the university, they do have affiliated companies that would fast track you a bit for that interview process, but it's up to you. So
I
it's some,
see.
yeah. But I would say it's easier for you to, go out of there to the job market, go and, fight for that interview, fight for your whatever role that you want. So
I see.
it's
Well,
more advantage position, I would say.
thank you for that clarification. I might have I was gonna fed like the wrong information to the audience, but thank you for that. Well, definitely I still wish that I would have that chance. Like I think it will be really amazing to have that. But yes, right now you have entered the master program.
Yes.
What do you think is the biggest difference between the 4 years of undergraduate compared to
Mhm.
masters?
So that's a good question. So that's kind of also my recent struggle for the past 2 months. So I would say undergrad, it's a more structured guidance and kind of they hold your hands to do stuff. So and also like I would say the assignment are more smaller and it's more easier, and it's kind of undergrad, it's kind of you going there figuring out what you want to do in life. It's a less intense. Like, the way how I frame it after like just my friends would ask me out for like drinks, like straight out of drinks, and everyone's kind of chill there. I think also because of Belfast is that city that is everyone is chill, it's connected. No one really talk about career. No one really talk about so what's your next big thing in life. So I think that's undergrad. It's kind of a happy-go-lucky scenario for me. And postgrad, that's crazy. It's a very big contrast. Okay, maybe it's also because I go to that business target school, LSE. That academic environment, the depth and breadth is so different. every week I have 4 homeworks. You have to do case study. Yes, you have to do case study on projects. You have to get into that nitty gritty details. They also expect you to know the stuff, and they have higher expectation on you. So okay, maybe also because it's LSE, it's 7% acceptance rate. So they expect you to know your stuff, balance your coursework, your internship, and that peer environment. It's crazy. Like everyone is just competitive. But I would say it's a good way to progress yourself. And also it's because of that, everyone is kind of chasing that same goal or like kind of in that same environment. So you do surround yourself with like-minded individuals. So I would say it's to the adult world.
I see. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Um, how do you find LSE, like London School of Economics? I mean, I personally, whatever I've heard of is all from people, but I've heard a lot interesting things about it, like how competitive it is, how definitely it is one of the top unis in the world, but definitely it's competitive, stressful, very academic, very career focused, and all that. So,
Yeah.
how what's your personal take of LSE?
Right. Okay. So, LSE is my dream school. Like, I do work hard to go into it, and me getting into it, it's kind of a miracle. Cause back then I know it's 7% acceptance rate. Cause I give one best shot for my master's. So if I'm not doing master's, I'm gonna be in industry working. So I kind of give one best shot on it. I was like, okay, they accept me. I'll go. Right. So the first month, that's crazy, where you can see people go into university in suits. They were well dressed, a cup of coffee with that. They're not, the way you go in university. You normally what you wear is like cozy sweater or like the most obvious version of you, especially in that 10 a.m. lecture. You would just, a pair of jeans, sneakers. No, that's not how they dress. They dress in suits, girls with like proper, sometimes they wear heels and like, yes. And then like that's how they dress. They just dress business and very smart. I mean, like they not only they dress smart, they are smart as well. So I think that's kind of that peer pressure environment really, I was very scared. Like I just thought I can't fit into this environment, and I kind of have that imposter syndrome. Like, is this really for me? Why do they really accept me? It's because I got lucky, or like just lots of lots of doubt going around. But eventually I kind of met a group of friends. I mean, like a group of people that kind of in a similar pace as me, where they was like, God, what why is this school so crazy? I mean, like, yeah, and then everyone's here just talking about career, how to secure that summer internship, how to break that into that interview, things like this. But I honestly, I thought, I mean, like, I decided to study master because of I want to get that bigger opportunity in London and also in banking era. So I thought that's actually it's very a steep learning curve. And also I would say that whole academic environment is actually really good at the way that how we have case study every week, and the lectures are very dedicated on you going that office hour. They really teach you about things. And also we do have our exam, and after exam you do have review sessions where you can go in, look at your what you did wrong in your exam paper, and also really go and ask for feedback, which I think something I'm really grateful of.
I see. Okay. Very interesting. Thank you. I think this
Yeah.
is the most detailed insight dive. Like I can put myself into your shoe and then like really view
Yeah.
through a lens of you, see how LSE is like, which I believe will be very helpful. Not just I think particularly my sister is currently looking at different university around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely it
Mm-hmm.
gives her a very good insight, and I'm very surprised by how the formally dressed aspect. It kind of
Oh,
sounds like
it's crazy. Yeah. You know what? Because you're in London very soon, just come to that area, and then you go around the surroundings. I think from Monday to Friday, you kind of can freely go to the building. You can just tell like they are like crazy well presented. Yeah, because I think also because of there's a lot of career opportunities there in terms of a lot of companies they come in, they do their career talks, and then they sometimes they do like networking sessions. So basically you have to look good to, secure your place, and that's something I think it's also peer pressure, like the way how they dress, and they are trained to, be that future investment banker. Everyone's going for investment banking, consulting, or like, or what was it? Yeah, I think it's only two: investment banking, consulting.
I
Like
see.
that's
I
what,
see.
yeah. But
Definitely.
definitely
Okay.
also other aspect, yeah.
I'll definitely check that out. Very interesting. Sounds like it's a mini city of London, right over there. Yeah.
It is, yeah. I Right, for context, I think London Business School also gives a similar vibe, but I'm not sure. Yeah, but that's
Okay.
what I heard from my friends.
Interesting. Interesting. But I can definitely see that happening. I mean, like London Business School is one
Yeah,
of the
I really,
leading
yeah.
leading business school in the world. People there are looking. They know what they're gonna do and all that. So definitely
Yeah,
presenting themselves as the career that they want to do is something that totally makes sense.
yeah, totally. Like the way I go in, I don't know what I want to do in my next 5 years. I feel like they have figured out. And the way an application question they would ask you, so what you want to do in your next 5 years, or what is your career plan? Like you need, yes, you need to have that question, but I'm sometimes surprised that the detail that people would give, that yes, I'm gonna proceed in A, B, C, D, E. It's something kind of, I mean, like I'm still surprised until today.
I see. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Earlier you definitely did touched on the low acceptance rate and then how you actually got into it, which is congratulations, amazing achievement. I don't think I have done anything that have such low acceptance rate yet. I'll see. Perhaps sometime in the future, something that I participate in. I hope that I will get this joy as well. I remember seeing, I think, one of your content where you recorded yourself. I think opening the email or something like the
Yeah,
acceptance email, and I think that's one of the content that I saw, and then start getting to know you. And so just wondering what definitely I from that I knew that you started your content journey a lot earlier, very much
mm,
earlier. And in fact, my intern here, yeah, Shiqi, I think from what she told me that she got to know you from one of the very early YouTube videos where you talk about, I think, UEC video and all that. So what prompted you to start your whole content creation journey?
honestly, I wouldn't say it's like content creation journey, because like I'm just kind of okay, right? I know that I want to live my life to the fullest, and I want to document everything along the way. And at some point, I realized that the life is like moving so fast, and I can't like barely remember what happened last month or even what I ate yesterday. It's like, yeah, so it's and also I sometimes I do have some random thoughts, especially when I was showering, or like, and like even like maybe late night conversation that I have with myself or with my friends. So I would say that I feel like it's always my brain constantly running through lots of things. And sometimes I want to record the moment that along this progress. So I think that's where I start to vlog and start off, that mini clips in my life. And I like the way how to capture those little moments that often slip through it. Like I would say like my journey from um, studying abroad in UK, and then when because like back then I was a princess at home, so I don't know how to cook, I don't know how to do my laundry. So like that's me kind of figuring out, how to, as an adult, like how to live a life. And that kind of that journey, and also how I deal with exams and like that highs and lows. So basically I think I just want to, make sure that if I look back, I want to know that so how I got there. And so it's kind of my passion and something that drives me forward. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I mean, I think there was a period of time. I was doing YouTube quite seriously, but I kind of stopped that. Yeah,
Mm,
took a big amount of my time. But now recently, I got back into doing reels, which I totally agree. It's a really amazing way to really document your
mm,
life. We should really take advantage of all this online video storage. For some reason, they gave it for free and just like store our memories up there, and it kind of is. It's a story of our life. It's a story of our life if
Yes,
we use it correctly, and it's amazing to just look back through it.
yes, exactly. I do agree on this. Like the way, see, because sometimes, like, because the way I don't picture myself as like content creator because I'm not creating content for the audience that looking me because I'm kind of doing it for myself. So I don't really see myself as content creator. So I would say I just like to vlog along my journey and also to look back on, right, okay, so that's me when I was 17, that's me when I was 20, like that kind of thing. Yeah.
I do agree with that. I think
Yeah.
there are embarrassing but
Oh
memorable
yeah, definitely.
videos.
That's 100%.
Yeah, like now I can look back and just like laugh. But it's important to have those and then you laugh about it. Even
Yeah.
sometimes I think we cringe about it, but if we do
Yeah.
cringe about it, I guess it's a good thing. It just shows that we have grown beyond it, that we kind of feel cringe about it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like if I have to look back at my first YouTube videos, I honestly I don't dare to like no. Like, honestly, I won't tell like my friends that, oh, you know what, I have YouTube account, that kind of thing.
Oh really? Like most of your friends don't know about it.
No, 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 like my friends know about it, but like so I would say for a stranger, if I would meet this person, I was like, no, no, no. Unless like he asked or she asked about it, I was like, oh yeah, I do have it, like for fun, that kind, yeah.
I see, I see. Very interesting. But yes, just wondering, I mean like perhaps this is more for previously when you're in your undergraduate and even now. I think
Mhm.
there will be a huge difference between it. How did you manage your time between like university, your personal life, and perhaps when you are creating some of your content?
Right. I would say balancing university, content creation, and your life definitely it's not easy. But what I like to do to try to manage it wisely, it's usually I like the way it works for me. It's I like to set up like productive session during morning because I'm a morning person. So waking up early works perfectly for me. So I like to usually wake up early, get my coffee in, and then usually do on big that most important task of the day. For example, usually it's always on academics or applying for jobs and or something some maths question that would need to make my brain working that kind of big task. And the way I get about it, I like to get important thing done before I would say before like 4 p.m. So that's basically from what whenever I wake up until like 4 p.m. It's basically the time where I have lectures, I have replying emails or whatever that is important, academic important. And then I would say after like dinner hour, I'm kind of just chill around, like either, scrolling on YouTube, scrolling on Instagram, or like having my own time. So I think that's how I manage my own time. And I know that sometimes it's quite hard in terms of if you have deadlines coming in, exams, or like you have commitments, or like some personal, like suddenly things coming in. So I think that's something I'm kind of also learning through it. How would I juggle things around? But what works for me is get your important things done early and then you could relax on the night.
I see. I love that. Um, Wondering, do you in today's world where many people have short attention span, do you find it hard to focus?
Yeah, sometimes I do find it hard to focus, especially during afternoon time. But for me, I would say people do the Pomodoro, like 50 minutes of work, 10 minutes of the rest. That doesn't work for me. But like because I know that if I really focus on something, I can do like 2 hours, 3 hours straight. Like I did not have, fortunately, I did not have this like short time of focus. If I really focus on stuff, I would go for it. But I thought the 50 minutes and 10 minutes might work for a lot of people.
I see, I see. That is amazing. Honestly, that's more of a personal question because hearing how
Yeah.
productive you are, and then recently I was like talking to this with my therapist as well, and then yeah, I'm learning how ways to be more focused. I think that is something I'm working on right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, like the way I think about it is, I want to get things done by like before I go home. No, because like for me, I can't do work at home. So like home, like I kind of have that separate mental accounting. Home is home, work is work. So the way I do work is in library or in a social setting or whatever in cafe. So I wouldn't get my work in like home. So whenever I come home, I just kind of want to chill, just do whatever I like not about like schoolwork or whatever. So like it's either I come home late or I get things done. I come home early and chill. So I mean like that's the way how I organize myself.
I see. That is beautiful. I really like that. Personally, well, London is expensive, so
Oh,
right
oh
now
yeah,
right now
yeah.
I don't have a place where I can separate my
Work
workplace
at,
and
at,
my bed and all that. But
mm,
if in the ideal scenario that will be the case for me, I would love to have that. But funnily, recently I did not expect this to. Okay, I haven't tried it, but I'm quite surprised when my therapist suggested this to me. I think you mentioned you work in like libraries, social area, and all that. I used to do that a lot back when I was in Nottingham. I guess I just got a bit
mm-hmm,
lazier to get out. I guess it's maybe winter, and now
yeah.
now that I'm in
Trust me,
London, it's a bit
I suffer
harder as
from
well.
that. Like I
Oh,
recently suffered from that winter blue as well. Like it's hard to get up on bed and then get your things done. And also when like recently London it's so crazy, like the wind and like the it's like sometimes you thought it's snowing but it's not, but it's 7 degrees from your phone, but it's 2 degrees outside. It's just crazy. Like it's just making you moody. It's something I struggled recently as well.
I see. Okay, interesting. Yeah, but yeah, back to the social setting thing. I think my therapist suggested this where you can actually listen to like cafe sounds where you can
Uh-huh.
hear I don't know sounds of like people doing things, typing on
Mm-hmm.
keyboard, walking around, like
Yeah.
barista making coffee and all that. Apparently, that will kind of build a mindset. Even though you like, I guess it's more for me where I spend more time working from home. It will kind of build that
Mm-hmm.
mindset within you, where you are outside and then people are
Mm-hmm.
watching you, people are doing things. So it kind of gives that peer pressure for you to work. Definitely, I haven't tried out, but I feel like it does make sense. It's like yeah, like when you're in a different place in libraries in like social setting, you tend
Mm-hmm.
to work a lot better compared to at your home. And then I'm just surprised by the psychology behind it. That oh, it probably works this way.
Yeah.
But yes, now back to what you said just now. Said London recently is terrible. I guess personally, I don't know. When I was leaving London a few weeks ago, coming to Malaysia, I was like, coming back to Malaysia to meet my family. I feel sad, honestly, for the first time. Well, I don't know. I guess personally, I still have that London excitement, especially with the Christmas and all that. Christmas vibes is
Yeah.
is immaculate, and I just for the first time, I'm excited to see my family, but I'm sad for leaving this
For
amazing vibe
Christmas.
behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know the storm just happened. Is it over by now?
It is, but like I thought the wind is just crazy. Like I see the storm, yes, make it like 10 times crazier, but like that's right now it's crazy as well.
See, okay, interesting. Yeah. But yes, just wondering how are you finding London after how many months? Actually, 3 months, is it?
Yeah, it's actually only 3 months me really living here. But because I do have a younger sister at London, so I've been coming for London for more than 5 times, I would say, for just like traveling around, yeah, and spending time with her. But I would say London to me, that's what I always describe. It's like a char kway teow, like yeah, right. So basically, you got everything where the culture kind of mix, and like the way you find in London underground. It's not about the locals, it's about everyone, like whatever country of people that you will met. It's so international. And people come here for good opportunities, and there's always something happening. So I know that it's London, it's yes, it's fast paced and people rushing around, and definitely you need to aware of your phone always, like make sure to get it tight, right? Yeah. So like, and I would say people come here for a reason and they want to stay here for their own opportunities to pursue that dream. So obviously I'm here in London for also a reason to improve the lifestyle. I want to kind of, build my career here and see what I will get out of it. So I would say basically London is, that's why it's a char kway teow. You can find everything there. And also I like the way how it is. Yeah.
I see. Okay. I really like how you brought in your own culture from Penang, char kway teow. Yesterday I had my first char kway teow from a store I really love. Really enjoyed it, but I really like how you brought in that cultural context here. Yeah, it's amazing. For any audience that is not Malaysian, you should definitely try char kway teow, especially Penang one, if you ever come to Malaysia. Yeah. But interesting. Now, so what is your reason? What is your reason for being in London? You mentioned like everyone come here for a reason. What is yours?
So right for me, so I want to build a career in finance and London, that finance, uh, that international finance place, and then also one of the big city in, banking era. So people here, they really want you to network around them, build your LinkedIn profile, connect with people and also learn about every companies. So I think that's something I want to get out of it, eventually settle in UK and also get that job and then maybe get a nice house in London. I mean, like that's kind of my personal goals. Yeah. But is it realistic? I don't know for now, but I'm just trying along the way.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's not important to think about whether it's realistic. Dreams and goals are a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I have this. I'm not sure if it's still my WhatsApp status. I forgot, but I love this quote. I think it's probably from Larry Page, like one of the co-founder of Google. I hope I'm not wrong because this is such an important quote to me, and the quote is very simple. It just says, good ideas are crazy until they are
Mm-hmm.
not. Basically, many things are crazy until we prove that otherwise. And like realistic or not, I guess that is not the most important thing. It's important is how we work towards it. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I have a very
That's a good one.
similar goal to you. Yeah, like I mean, London is originally when I moved down to London 3 months ago, I was like thinking because right now I am unemployed. Recently, I accepted the fact that I am fun employed, like unemployed with
See,
a F.
right. No, no, I got to clarify. I like the way how you sick at and unemployed. So basically, I'm a student. I'm also unemployed. But the past 3 months, it's me constantly worrying on when do I get that internship? How do I get an interview? So yesterday, I do have that one interview. Like I just went to. It's my first in-person interview. I went to the office. Nothing about me. So what I did, I prepared my CV. I print out the question that I prepared. I wrote every single detail that anything that would come out or any question that I want to ask the interviewer. Arrive 30 minutes early, get into the office, smile, make that good impression. But at the end of that interview, it's just about they asking me on a very technical part. So basically, because it's I would say because it's a private equity role. So
Okay.
for your context, basically you have to build a financial model by hand. So basically, they just asked me to do that, and at that point, I got so nervous because that's something that I prepared the list. You know what? I just try to try to let the interviewer know that how enthusiastic I am. Maybe I'm not really familiar with it, but that's something I learned along the way. Blah 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 blah, like that kind of thing. So
I
it's
see.
that's why I like the way how you picture like you're fun and employed, and also the way you do like podcasts, and then the way you connect with people, and also how your day one to day 30 reels, that thing. I think that really keep you going.
Thank you, and really congratulations for your first interview. I think that must be very exciting, very scary, but exciting as well for you.
Honestly, at this point, I have 8 interviews already. And yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. And I did not secure any yet. So I would say people apply 100 to get into one interview or few interviews. And then from few interviews, they get that second round or third round. And then after that, that offer. So it's a long journey for me.
I
So
see.
I hope I am fun employed. Because that, yeah, now me is anxiously unemployed.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Definitely. Like, honestly, I'll just share a bit about myself as well. I'm currently definitely. I think recently I created. I think I'll put a short plug here as well. I think I'll like for anyone that's interested in my content. I've recently started a lot of reels. Just found fun doing it. Feel free to check it out in the description below on my Instagram and all that. But definitely right now many things are going on. I'm running this podcast. I actually started a Notion consultancy service of my own, and then I was definitely still applying for jobs, and then I have faced so many rejections as well. But I don't know, I guess I kind of just view it in a different lens now. For me, I'm slightly different where originally I'm more focused on like entering venture capital.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then but because I think venture capital is a lot more niche, especially compared to like private equity and all this. So I had one very helpful senior that pointed out that instead it's a good idea to be fully focused onto venture capital, but you know, joining startups with all those operator experience from startup would help as well. That's why I have started focusing more on startups. In fact, tomorrow is Sunday, and the deadline for applying those jobs will be tomorrow, and I'll have to work on that again. So,
It's like,
yeah, so I've been applying many, and then definitely learn a lot. In fact, I have been so prepared for interview that now, previously, I have all this. I have a kind of like a Notion page prepared like yeah, I'm still tracking it, but there's no Notion page for every company where I'll just like write down and prepare for the interview. Like what you did, jot
yeah.
down everything and all this. I have gotten so used to it that now I can easily prepare for it, like within like 10 minutes, like just and then hop on the interview, and it's been really fun. I like this feeling. I guess previously I'll be very anxious and felt terrible if like
Mm-hmm.
the got rejected and all this, but now I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, I guess I just see things in the whole different lens where I take every single opportunity, just being able to meet the founder as a learning opportunity as well, chatting with them and all
Yeah.
this. And in fact, the Notion consultancy service that I started
Mm-hmm.
came out of all these interviews I have, because I think
Mm-hmm.
at least I had 10 interviews right
Mm-hmm.
now, at least 10, maybe 15, I'm not sure. Now probably five of them are still in the pipeline waiting for
Mm-hmm.
their response, either rejection or the next stage, we'll see.
Yeah.
um, and because I think one important aspect of interview is that you try to get feedback as well. And I learned this amazing question from one of
Yes.
the alumni, telling me that there's this question perhaps you can actually ask in your next interview, which is after this whole interview, what's the one thing that you are unsure about me? So it's kind of give the
Mm-hmm.
interviewer a
Yeah.
challenge to
Mm-hmm.
directly give you the feedback. Otherwise, they would be lying when they kind of reject you and all this. So I love this question, and then straight away you kind of get at least some feedback. And then many of them told me that, oh, you don't you because I am looking for more of a generalist role, basically
Mm-hmm.
kind of like doing everything that
Yeah.
the founders couldn't do in a startup. And
Mm-hmm.
but I came from a software engineering background, which is very rare. Most people came from management consulting, which they are
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a generalist. And then
Mm-hmm.
they would say that, oh, you have an amazing background, but definitely you lack more of the sales, business to business sales, or like commercial experience. And initially, once I got that,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, I got to work. I'm learning. I
Mm-hmm.
asked a few founders what's the best way to learn about like go to market strategy, sales, and all this. I was studying that, but suddenly one random Sunday when I woke up, boop, I just had this epiphany of like, I have been I have been using Notion all this while for my different
Mm-hmm.
projects, my podcast, my personal life, my various
Mm-hmm.
business previous that. Why not? I just start selling this value because this is a good value that I can offer. And
Mm-hmm.
if it's kind of like I love using this analogy, uh, which is that you imagine you are a fruit stall selling fruits right beside the tube station. It like definitely you get good business because people walking out of the tube station, they get some fruits
Yeah.
and all that. And it kind of just makes sense for you to start selling fruit juice. More convenient. You just need
Mm-hmm.
minimal investment. You just need a blender,
Mm-hmm.
70 pound, and then you can start making fruit juice, selling to people. And worst come to worst, if it works out, amazing, you got a new income stream. If it doesn't work out, well, you just it's a minimal loss because you just need to write off your blender. So I decided to start this consultancy service because if it basically I am forced to sell to businesses. If I get to sell, I can tell all the startups I'm interviewing, these are the sales I make. I know how to
Mm-hmm.
sell. If it doesn't work out, well, I'm not losing anything. Pretty much all
Yeah.
this value is what I've already learned. It's all in my head. It's not that I am spending more time to learn it. And actually, I can just tell all the startups like, so yeah, didn't sell much, but here's probably the 10 ways you should not sell things because it did not work out for me. So
That's a
ultimately,
good. Yeah. I mean,
ultimately, I
like the
feel like,
way. Oh,
continue.
sorry, sorry. I mean, like I like the way how you picture, like how you position yourself, and also the way you think about it. Like,
Yeah, like,
because, yeah,
honestly, I'm quite surprised about myself, how I view it from this way,
yeah,
and I'm just happy that I'm able to view it from this way, and then like see all these learning opportunities as from one of the podcast guests, take rejections as redirections. Rejections are not that
yes,
bad. Like it's pointing you towards a new direction.
yes. Yeah. Honestly, that's what I always told myself because so me recently, I've been waking up with like few rejections email every morning, and receiving that rejections email in the morning. You just wake up from, it's just not a good day, but eventually I would say the first week it's crazy where every rejection email I read, I will cry. Like, it's like why is that not like because I have that ego when I go to target school, they should have actually accept me at least for first round interview to really talk to them, but it's fine. Like right now, it's like, oh, it's okay, another rejection. Yeah,
I
it's just not my company then. Like,
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I mean, like, I think yesterday I just got one rejection email, and then I hate that always. I mean, like, okay, at this point, I don't really hate, but I definitely remember, like, back then, I was like, oh gosh, another rejection, and then I
yeah,
have to,
yeah, it's just another. Yeah, you just have to try another time. It's
yeah, especially
honestly,
for
yeah,
us, because I apply to startups, so it's sometimes the
yeah.
the the founder, the CEO directly messaging, which is really nice, which is absolutely perfect.
Mm,
But then I still have to
mm.
be nice, be like, thank you for the interview
Thank you.
opportunity. It
Yeah,
was lovely to chat with you. I really enjoyed the
yes.
conversation, and then unfortunately, it doesn't work out. But I'll definitely stay updated with the social and all that. But
Mm-mm.
lovely to have connected with them, and then lovely
Yeah.
to have learn from the struggles that they have, the reason why they want to employ someone and all this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do agree. Like every interview, it's a good opportunity for you to connect with someone in a team. Maybe like 3 years later, you don't know where you landed, and then somehow you want to go back. You'll be like, oh yeah, I got rejected, but here I am today. Like I think
Honestly,
that's something. It's very powerful.
yes. Honestly, something recently that's really interesting, really fun as well. So, I applied for a role, I think like 3 months ago, perhaps 3 months ago, I think. And then, um, I'm actually applied for that role, and then the interviewer is interviewing someone to replace himself because he is starting a new startup. And I didn't get selected for the role, but which is
Mm-hmm.
fine. Like we had a good conversation. In fact, like I think during that interview, it was him and another person, Catherine Park, which I
Mm-hmm.
interviewed a few episodes ago. And then oh yeah, it's actually, well, as of we're recording now, the episode that just came out. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
she was a very interesting person. So I connected with her, invited her onto my podcast, and then really recently, this interviewer, which will be coming out onto our podcast soon. Short
Mm-hmm.
teaser there, and he reached out to me, asking to be part of my podcast, and then I was really excited. I was like, obviously, of course, like Catherine, talk about you. I am happy to have you on the podcast. And then honestly, there's one thing I'm really shocked. I'm shocked that he's Gen Z because he's just 1 year older than me. He's 25. I was like, what? Yeah, yeah. So like, I was really shocked, but definitely, I'm happy to have him up here. Like all these people that we met along the way, it's not wasted if we got rejected or something. It's definitely
Yeah.
someone that might be helpful along the journey in some
Yeah.
way or another.
Yeah, I do agree with that. And it's good that you have podcasts, so like you could come, that's, I mean, like, it's also that open opportunity that you gave yourself and the platform you have. And like, obviously, that you did well in interview. It's just maybe the job is not for you right now, or it's not a good fit, but you open an opportunity for yourself.
Yes, in fact, what you said is really true. I mean, oh, there's this amazing guy as well. So one of the founder of BAE, British Asian Entrepreneur, because I applied for a role under him as well, and then interviewed with him, and then he was so nice to give feedback to every of the interviewee, and then
That's
mine
true.
was very late, and then I went to one of his event. I'm so happy, I'm so surprised. He remembered me when I got into the room, and then we chat after that. Like, he immediately noticed me, and then like during the talk, he actually mentioned that, yeah, like recently I was hiring someone, and then definitely I see someone in the room that actually applied for a role, and then I'm happy to see him here. And then we chat, and then he gave me really good feedback. But sometimes the main thing is not really your problem. It's that,
Yeah.
come on, a startup or a company, they are just looking for, like, I don't know, depending on like graduate program, maybe like 20 people. Startup, just
Yeah.
one person.
One.
There's so many
Yeah.
good people, and then sometimes it's just finding the best fit possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not really your problem, and just, well, sometimes not the great fit. And even recently, like hiring my first intern, it was not easy as well sometimes. I wish I can hire more, but with my current resource, I can only hire one. So I definitely try to hire the best fit possible.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah, but yes, thank you. I think we spent a bit too much diving deep into this career life in London. What's our reason? I think loving our reason coming to London. And let's kind of shift it a little bit, and let's talk about your family. Yeah, you talk about you're you're quite a homey person and all
Yeah.
that. So just wondering how and what role did your family played along your whole journey to you, to who are you are today?
So I would say my family played a very massive role in shaping who am I today and also my journey so far. So basically, um, I would say one of my biggest influence is my dad. So like the way I was telling you, how I was the first child to go to studying abroad in UK university, and also because of they are not graduate from, I mean, like they only finished their high school, and the way they work hard for me, really prepare me well for the education, and also putting that long hours to sacrifice their day where it's something that I'm really grateful of throughout this journey. And also in my family, I would say I do have one younger sister, so I'm playing that big sister role, and I really happy of doing that. I do have a younger sister in London, so I like to take care of her. She's doing design, so she's
Oh,
more on that artistic girl, and I'm more on that organized person where I would organize my life. Sometimes I do plan my meals. And like she's kind of those like, oh, you know what, it's okay. Maybe like so for your context, my younger sister is a person that I would see, I like her creativity and also how brave she are in terms of like every month she would go on holidays. So for example, if she spent two, I mean like if she honestly like she if she earned £200 this month, she would spend that £290 for everything and then maybe save that £10. Like yeah, I mean like she's that YOLO kind of girl, but it's something I really I like her bravery of doing that. I mean, like you do have a lot of way of living, and yeah, so I'm more of a big sister of taking care of her, and then make sure I see the way I told you I like to cook, so I like to feel her with my home cooked food, and yeah, so seeing her happy and thriving is kind of my best part of the day, and also because it's two of us in London, and my dad and my mom in Malaysia. So yeah, so that's kind of my family and the role I play.
I see. I believe definitely having your sister close to you definitely helped a lot.
Yes.
But do you feel homesick? I guess maybe previously when you're in Belfast and right now when you're in London.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely. I do feel homesick a lot often. But I think one thing, maybe it's along the years, one thing really work out for me is normally usually every Sunday is kind of my family call day. So like morning I would call them or call my grandparents. And I think that's kind of you do need to find a solution for it because like if you choose like that I would say it's just a trade-off. If you choose to study abroad, it's just the time, the effort that you miss with your family and your loved one and like back home. So I would say every summer I am really happy to be home, enjoy the food even for that 1 month.
I see. I see. That's amazing. I totally understand. I totally understand that part where you say, yeah, same. Like I call my family every week. I really
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that time. In fact, I don't know, recently, I guess I moved down to London, became
Mm-hmm.
fun employed, got more time, and then I am so my mom passed away earlier this year, so that was a big change in our life. And then I'm being the person, I guess I am part of a family, traditional Asian family, where, well, traditional Asian family show love more of through acts of service. They don't really talk much. And then my dad is definitely someone like that. And then me knowing that now it's just me, my sister, and my dad, definitely
Mm-hmm.
we have to communicate a lot more. So now I am being the oversharing person talking about everything, and then I would like call them like, I don't know, you previously definitely there's still the fixed 1 day a week, but then I will
Mm-hmm.
call them sometimes a lot more just to overshare
Mm-hmm.
about my life, hoping that
Mm-hmm.
they will open up more as well. Yeah, but it is the distance that makes us
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
agree
this
on that.
this
Yeah.
time when I came back, I do really appreciate the time that we get to spend together, and
Mm-hmm.
then and knowing our own life. Like I'm happy that right now, even though we are under the same roof, we don't see each other that often. I've been like meeting my friends, and then later my sister right now is in Malacca joining a race event. And
Oh.
then my dad is going out for a wedding later, which leaves me home alone. But I guess I appreciate that a bit because I've been really busy, so I'm gonna spend some time for myself, and actually enjoy some me time. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but yes, talking about me time, just wondering, what is your guilty pleasure when you need to unwind after like a long day or a week?
Right, that's a good question. So, my guilty pleasure usually it's not the healthiest choice, but it's always
Interesting, interesting.
fixing my cravings. So I would say definitely, because definitely snacking in my bed with good supply of like carbs, like because I like bread so much, like like you name it, like focaccia, sourdough bread, or like bagels, brioche, like whatever bread, right? If you spot me in Mark and Spencer or like Lidl or any sort of grocery, I would get so many bread, and that's something that's something that's really comforting me. And also, I like cheese and also a glass of white wine. So I think that's kind of my guilty pleasure where if it's not my day, I will just go home, get stuck in my bed, do YouTube or Netflix, chill around, and then eat whatever I want.
I see. Well, no, there's nothing wrong to that. It's called guilty pleasure for a reason, and it's
Yeah,
fine.
but
But
like the next day you feel guilty. That's the only thing. Yeah, I mean
okay.
it's fun at that moment, that 2 hours, but sometimes you really need that time.
I see, I see. But yeah, have you tried crumpets?
Yeah, but it's not my favorite because I
I
do
see.
like the crunchy texture. So I do like with a toasted, like toasted, I would say toasted sourdough. It's more in like that
I see.
crunchy vibe.
I see, yeah, cause like I heard you love sourdough, and then funnily, like I've been in the UK for 3 years, my fourth
Mm-hmm.
year right now, starting my fourth year, and only this year that I learned about crumpets, and then after learning
You
about
love it.
it, toasting it, putting butter on it, I fell in love with it, and then now I'm just like actively promoting it, especially when people love sourdough. I actually even brought them back. I brought that to my aunt in Singapore, and then I brought it back to Malaysia. But actually, one fun fact: you don't have to bring it back because I think, well, at least Mark and Spencer in Singapore does sell it.
Uh,
Malaysia, I forgot, but it's so stupid for me to bring it on my luggage all the way here, and then just finding out is like, wait, you guys sell it here? Definitely it's more expensive, but then, I could have saved the
yeah.
luggage space or something else.
Mm.
So it is a British thing that I would definitely recommend sourdough lovers to give it a
Yeah.
try and see whether they love it.
I'll give it a try.
Okay, okay, okay,
Maybe
right.
it's not, I would like it, but yeah,
I
I'll
see.
try. Mm.
Right now, another interesting question. Are you in love?
Well, so I would say in terms of romantic relationship, not really at the moment. So I'm actually enjoy being single right now. There's a lot of freedom in it, and I made that decision to move to London. I want to focus on myself and my next career decision or my like building that life in London. But I also open the idea of romance and where it comes to my way. So if there's a right person or that opportunity, it's there. I'm happy to explore it. I mean, like in terms of romantic relationship. So maybe for your context, I just ended my long distance relationship. It's a 5 year relationship. I'm grateful for everything that I learned throughout the way. But I know that our path does not align and things
Mm,
doesn't really work out. And also me making that big decision, coming to London, build that career. So it's just different path. So now I'm kind of, enjoying being single, but also open to opportunities. And I would say, and when it comes to love, I would not just picture like romance relationship, also like my family, because like they are my backbone support system through my thick and routine. So I would say my family and also friends that bring that extra layer of joy in my life. And I'm also grateful to having that.
I see, I see. That is amazing. I especially love the ending part where you focus on your your family and friends. I think I remember very particularly that night when I was told by my dad that my mom passed away, and then it was definitely shocking. And then like it was through a phone call, and then straight after, well, throughout the whole phone call, I was like, my God, like definitely, it kind of shows that life is uncertain, anything can happen. I was thinking of like, I should tell my dad like, oh, I love you and all that. I did not do that, and then we ended the phone call. But then I was like, no, I can't I cannot not do that. And then I just went ahead and called back to him, and then I just said that immediately. I was like, that I love you. Like, anything
Oh my
could happen. Like it's
God.
like it's very awkward. It's very, but then I was like, you never know, and whatever could happen, and then you should do it. And then so since then, definitely I still don't do it that often. But then, I remember the last time when I was back, for my mom's funeral, when before I'm leaving, I was like telling him, yeah, I was telling my sister that I love you before I actually leave. And then definitely something I'm pushing myself to do more to kind of make it normal and all this as you do more things normal. Yeah, it actually you normalize it and then you kind of don't. It's easier to do so and all this. I think
Yeah.
this is a small thing I love to complain about Asian families. We really,
Oh, yeah. 100%.
I
It's like
think we
I think okay, sorry. No, sorry to cut you down. So I think for me, I don't talk. So I'm not that sweet talk girly. Where my sister, younger sister, she is. So she would the one who go, Daddy, I love you, Mommy, I love you. Like being that girl, sweet talk girly, and me being nah. You know what? I'm not. You know, my love is just silent. I would say actions speak louder than words. So I don't talk about it. But eventually, after my study abroad journey, kind of, you really consistently missing home. You know what? Actually, that I love you. It's easy to talk. Like it's fine. Just it doesn't matter. Like you need to let them know that you love them. And also, what I find out, like what I realized along the journey is it's easy for me to say I love you to boyfriend, like a romance relationship. Why is it not easy for me to say I love you to my dad and my mom? So that kind of made me reflect a lot on it, and I kind of start from starting putting love and what's that conversation to what, actually I love you, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good start. Like start small, make it easy, and then just keep
yeah,
on doing that. Which I really love it. I love what you did, and yeah, and like keep on doing that. I am on a learning journey as well, and yeah, like I really like the part where you talk about with your romantic partner. Why is it so easy to do it, and then
true.
why your
Yeah,
parents and everything where you actually
that
um
awkwardness. Yeah, I do think it's also because coming out from that Asian culture, so you wouldn't say "I love you" that easily. But maybe because of I got influenced by in UK, you know how easy to say, "Oh, I love you,
same.
you are the best person in the life," whatever. Like that kind of sweet talk. I think it's something that you need to bring that culture back. I mean, that's a good culture to me. So just say it.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I absolutely love British culture. Like honestly, okay.
Yeah,
London is the least nicest place. It's still quite nice, but least nicest around the whole UK because people are more intentional and more stressful and all that. But still, it is lovely. Especially, I miss this thing in Christmas where they actually wear Christmas sweaters to work, and then people would compliment
yeah.
your sweaters, and then you would actually compliment people's sweaters, and like that is the best part. I hope when I'm back, they are still wearing that, and I can actually I'm gonna wear that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I would say they really embrace whatever you wear, or even though, like, for example, today I put effort on maybe doing my makeup. It's like, oh my god, I love your makeup, or oh my god, I love this, I love that. It's like, oh really, did I did really this well? It's just maybe me adding that extra layer of lipstick into my you know but I think that's a culture that I really like it. And that I think also that kind of shaped me why I want to work in London. And also because that Western culture, and often they will shape things very well. Like for example, like rejection, they wouldn't like, oh, because you are not competent, because you did not tick the boxes. They would be like, oh yes, you tick all these boxes, but something that you could improve on. Like the way sometimes they phrase it, sometimes do make me confused a bit. But I do like, that culture, like the way they praise people.
I get what you mean. Yeah, I'm trying to bring this like when I'm back. I will always say thank you whenever someone do something to me. When people bring me a drink, when a security guard just let me pass through something. I was like I always do it, even though I know it's they might not care about it. They might give me weird faces, but like I don't know. It's just a nice gesture. I hope that I can make your day
Yeah.
better, and I would love to put in some humor just to like I remember yesterday I was at Kinokuniya like buying a book, and then like the credit card machine was like not working, and then I was just like joking like probably it's a bad day for the card machine. Like, let's just give it some time. Yeah, I just really love all this like British
Yeah.
humor, being nice and all that. Don't take life too serious. Make no be a bit cheerful. Like I think it is a really beautiful thing that British have, and then I would really love to bring it here into Malaysia and spread this joy around.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, but yes, going back, I think going back into your previous relationship, I'm sorry to hear that, but yeah, because similarly, earlier this year, I ended a 5 year relationship as well. Just wondering, was it like if you're not comfortable sharing it, you don't have to. But was it easy to make this decision to end the 5 year relationship?
I think this is something I've never really shared publicly. In fact, that I ended that long distance relationship. So it's definitely not easy. It's a tough decision, but eventually it kind of comes in our mutual agreement where our path is not aligned anymore. And I don't see myself in the next 3 4 years doing long distance relationship when I was in London. I'm really busy with my life, and so it's not, I mean, like, I don't feel comfortable to going on again. And it's also kind of in our mutual consensus. And I would say this whole journey kind of made me realize that knowing what to expect and also being true to my own self is important. But um, I would say that importance of alignment is something you are not just in love, but also there's more important things in life rather than romance. So I don't know if you do rank it like people do rank, okay, what's your career, your wealth, uh and your relation. Okay, okay, let's put it in this way, like how they rank relationship, like your family, your friends, and romance. Like for me, I would say I'm more a selfish person. I rank me myself as number one. Number two would be my family, and number three, and I would say number three would be romance and friendship. So I'm I know I made that decision where, okay, right, next 3 4 years I don't want to be in long distance. So it's good for me to really end that relationship, but we are still friends, and yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Honestly, I really love like the ranking part. I think, definitely. Personally, actually, I agree with that, and I personally think that there is nothing wrong with that selfishness. In fact, I think I had this conversation with my ex about the same thing, and then the reason why I agree with it is because ultimately, even though let's say if we put our shoes in a relationship, and even if in a relationship where both partners got married and everything, ultimately life will happen, and then one party will pass away, one way or the other, and then you would end up being yourself. So it is very important to put yourself as the priority,
That's
because
why.
if you highly depend on the other person, like example, my dad right now, like this morning, I was honestly chatting about this topic. I'm so proud of myself, because honestly I think previous episode we were chatting heavily on this family topic. So the podcast guest, it was Jimmy. Her mom passed away, I think, last year as well. So we kind of relate a lot on this aspect. And then I talk about how I need to have this conversation about when my sister is moving abroad, and then my dad will be just one person here, and then how will he be able to live his life? Yeah, because I think acts of service is a very important thing for Asian, especially sometimes even me myself. We I get value when we provide service to others, and then I see my dad, my grandma having the same thing. So I was like chatting with my dad about that, and I told him, like, it's really important to start thinking about yourself, doing more of your own things, and focusing on your own time, which I'm very happy. Honestly, I've seen a bit of a changes. I remember it's a very very small thing. I think, like, yeah, yesterday I wanted to eat the char kway teow, and then he said he's gonna get breakfast, and then I was just saying that, I want to get that char kway teow, and then he just said that, oh, I think you get it yourself. I'm going somewhere else. Like, yeah, absolutely perfect. That sounds good. So it sounds like you're setting boundaries. You're not gonna just like try to do everything. I was like, I'm very happy about that. Yeah, so we were kind of talking about this. Like, it's I think it's really important to still put yourself first, no matter whether you are in a romantic relationship and all that, because ultimately, at the end of the day, we still live on our own one day.
Yeah. I think our previous conversation on, like, you was asking me if I was going organically or like online. I would say now I'm more towards that organically, where you did recommend me the event where
Mm.
I'm looking forward to go on 2025. That's kind of my 2025 to-do list, I would say. It's like meeting more people. But I don't think London is a very good place for you to meet a different culture of people, knowing their stories, and also, you know what, just try. Like, we are still young.
Yes.
Try it out.
Honestly, I think I was. It's funny I'm bringing this up. I think because I'm on the dating app and then I've been
Yeah.
going on various dates, and then I was sharing this with my friend.
Mm-hmm.
So like many of my dates are, uh, well, I think I can share because I'm not sharing the name. Basically, I want to make sure that they're anonymized.
Yeah.
They're all
Yeah.
the previous dates that are no longer,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we're no longer meeting and all that. But still, I want to anonymize them for their privacy reason. But I have met, people that work in big tech. I have met people
Mm-hmm.
that studied in LBS, studied in
Mm-hmm.
ICL, and then my friend was like, "Wow, like come on, like your filter must be good. How are you able to
Yeah.
meet so many good good candidates and
Like,
all that?" And then I
yeah.
was just, I think there is this beauty about London which I realized. So
Mm-hmm.
if we zoom out and then we try to look at the big cities around the world,
Mm-hmm.
New York is a finance center and perhaps an art center, but it is just focused on finance and art. If you
Mm-hmm.
look into movies, it's more on Los Angeles,
Yeah.
west coast of United
Yes.
States. When you look into startups, it's Silicon Valley, San Francisco, which is
Yeah.
like on the west coast on United States, which is like separate cities. But London has a different status. Obviously, they are not like, unlike US, those cities are really good at those things. London is not like, it's not the best in those things, but they're perhaps like
They have
within like
everything.
yeah, they are like the top five where they have the best
Yeah.
arts and all this. In like National Gallery, Victoria and Albert
Mm-hmm.
Museum have one of the best arts. They have one of the best films as well. Like British films are still ranked among the top. And then Finance Centre, we have City of London, Canary Wharf. It's still an important, even today standards where we have exited the EU.
Mm-hmm.
UK is still an important financial hub within Europe. And then what else? Startup scenes, even though Europe is trying to rise up and beat UK, but still currently UK is still leading ahead. So it just kind of makes London a jack of all trades where you are able to meet really different kinds of person at one single spot. So it is a
Yeah.
very interesting place. Definitely, it's not the best in any of those
Yeah.
things, but it is one of the highest ranked for among all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah. As I said, the char kway teow, you won't eat it every day, but it's good to have it.
Really like that. Okay.
That's
Yes,
what like
that is very true.
that's what I thought, because I do have that American dream that, going to the biggest country, like the strongest country of that economy, going to US, and then really dive into that US culture. But what I do think that London gives that opportunity. UK, like, you do have everything very similar, and it's more close to Malaysia culture, and I think that something really makes London or UK stands out. But like,
Indeed, indeed.
um, yeah, I think something I want to share. Like, previously, my friend asked me to download like online dating app, but I'm not like, I see I am on it, but after like few scrolls, I'm not really into it. So like, that's why you was asking me if I'm organically or like online. I don't really think online works out for me. So I'm more
I
into,
see.
meeting that people in person. And I'm also
Mm,
more on that love at one side, that kind of thing. So like, I do think it kind of, if that vibe it's there, then it's there.
I see. I totally get what you mean. I mean,
Yeah.
like, it is a preference thing. I think I have
Yeah.
chat to many of my friends. Honestly, today I was just like, earlier, I was just meeting a bunch of my friends. It's funny how, well, we are at the age where relationship become a really important thing in life, where we need to start consider in our next 10 years marriage is a thing, and then building a family. So
Yeah.
I think it kind of became a normal topic, and I'm definitely discussing about this, but definitely it's preference. There are a few that are on dating apps. There are a few that are still not comfortable or prefer not to, which is totally fine as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, let's thank you for sharing all that. Really appreciate your honesty and your sharing on that. But now let's dive into just wondering what's your pursuit in life.
Like this, but I would say I do have one quote that I really like, which is "You are your own best investment." So that really hit me. Like I really like this quote where because I know that right now I'm in my early 20s. So your I mean like this is always what my mom told me that your early 20s is that best 10 years that you need to appreciate of, and your early 20s basically shape your 30s, your 40s, or your 50s, or any life decision that you make. You're able to make that mistake, and then you can come back stronger, and that in your early 20s. So for now, because I'm in my early 20s, what my pursuit would be myself as the best investment. And also, I would say I want to explore more and also explore on different aspects. So I would say, see, right now I'm doing finance, but maybe you won't see me doing finance again, or maybe I would more towards that startup, or you would see me opening a cafe. So I don't know what I want to do in life, but I would say along the way, I can kind of cross that. Okay, so after I try this, I know I don't want to do this. So I did try accounting. I know I don't want to do accounting. So now I kind of, try A, B, C, D and kind of cross what I do want to know that what I want. I think that's kind of my approach. But yeah, I do also have like bucket list. Like I want to do like bungee jumping. And yeah, I want to do bungee jumping and I want to do the paragliding in Switzerland.
Wow.
Yeah, and also like for now, I want to be that corporate girly. You see those real night people doing 9 to 5 job. You know how they are so elegant. They pack their own bag. See, I know that's not the reality. Like that's just Instagram. That's just real. But I do want to enjoy that 9 to 5 life. Getting that paycheck at the end of the month, and then you do have that comfort life. Yeah, I think that's kind of my pursuit right now, like getting my master's done, getting that job, and then going to that corporate world and then see if I really like it or not. If not, exit. I think that's kind
I
of
love that.
my yeah.
I love that. It's funny. I think it's probably an age thing where yesterday my friends were just talking about paragliding, and then yeah, but yeah, like the reason actually a very funny thing. I really agree with your quote. Like twenties is no, sorry, like you are your best investment. I totally agree with that. I think I had my biggest crisis, my biggest struggle. I think earlier this year, last year, last year. It was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year when I actually called my dad. I cried. I cried. I called my dad and I cried. And I was like very confused on my career. Like that time, many things happened when I was working in Meta, and then and he was just telling me, like you're just in your twenties and all that. That was a
Yeah.
very interesting conversation. I was so surprised. Sorry that I'm gonna expose you a bit. But like that time he shared about the time when I was born, I was surprised he was not in the best state. And that time he kind of quit the job. He couldn't really find a good job. He found a job. It was a very stressful job. And then he was like
Mhm.
just job hopping around before settling on one more stable job and then starting his own company, which kind of got on track. I mean, me myself, I wouldn't have a child when if I'm at that stage. I was like, I'm so surprised. Like,
Yeah.
wow, Dad, you're brave and all that. But I'm happy to hear that and then see what he has achieved today. It just shows that when you work hard, you work for what you want. Definitely, it will happen. And then he was just telling me, you're still young. You're 20 something. Youth is
Yeah.
capital. You don't have to worry too much. And and I mean, I am very grateful for his words. He know me, and then he
Mhm.
know that I work hard and all this. It's like instilling that confidence that as long as you're not just continue what you're doing. You're being hardworking. You're being you. It's
Mhm.
impossible for you to fail spectacularly.
Yeah, that's what I always got from like my parents as well. Like it's not about like what you do or like anything that really make them proud. It's just like you being yourself, putting yourself out there, constantly doing something, or even for example like because like previously I have that one final interview with one big bank, JP Morgan. I failed that interview. I thought I get that offer already, but like no, the next day sorry, you did not get in. I was like, you know what? Actually, maybe finance is not for me. Like, because I have so many rejections and they keep, it's like, you're playing that the snake game. Like you go up one ladder and then you
To
suddenly go
fall that
to
down.
the fall down, then you go up again and then you go down. It's me constantly going up, going down, going up, going down. So like what my dad, I think he told me a very similar thing as what your dad told you. It's like, it's okay. It's honestly, it's just wherever you being yourself and then just putting yourself out there. If at the end of the day it's not for you, then just try other things.
Lovely. I love that. I love that. I guess, well, Asian parents being Asian parents,
Yeah.
not the best person on expressing love, but I definitely love that now they have improved, and then they would actually be a lot more constructive and really helpful in like supporting and motivating us in ways like this, which is really lovely.
Yes, exactly.
But another thing you said, shit, I actually, oh my God, I forgot. I was so immersed in what you said, how like what your dad said and all that. But I think it was, oh, give me a second to think about it. I actually can't think about it, but I think it was yeah, to, like you are your best investment. Actually, honestly, I have always wanted to invest in myself, and it's only this year where I started really executing on that, and I guess I am proud that I've started doing that, and then I guess now I live by this motto. Like the reason why I did all those, like this podcast, Notion Consulting, is that yeah, learn by failing is important. I think um like what you said, yes, earlier you said you did finance. Now maybe you might not, you one day you
Yeah.
might realize that, oh, finance is not my thing. In fact, that's what happened to me, and then I think I had a really big crisis when that happened to me. But then now I just realized that, it's fine. It's what happened has happened. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
part of our journey is not about finding what is right for us, but also finding what is not right for us. Just like one of the
Mm-hmm.
previous podcasts, Thai said, when you're in the ice cream shop, when there's 20 flavors, it makes more sense for you to figure out which flavors you dislike rather than which one
Which
you
one you
actually
want?
like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think right now my idea is that I just don't want to live a life of regret. I would rather do things fail and then learn from it instead
Mm-hmm.
of not doing things just because I'm not sure whether that's the right thing for me.
Mm-hmm. That, yeah, I agree. Like what I told my dad, be like, you know what? If there's no any London firm that accept me for any offer or any internship grad program, and maybe sell nasi lemak in London or like whatever. Like, honestly, at this point, it's just me getting out of the door, doing something. I want to do it, or like trying out new opportunities. Like you never know. Like the way you are encouraging me doing podcasts. Oh yeah, maybe I'll do that. Like, yeah. So, like for me, I would say I don't know what I want to get out of it, but like it's just me constantly trying, connecting with people, and then eventually, I will find my way along this maybe that whole 20s, my early 20s or my late 20s.
Amazing. I wish you success. Definitely, like you're doing. Like I wish myself success, and I wish you success. Like we are on this exploration journey. Nothing wrong, alright. And honestly,
Yeah,
perhaps selling nasi lemak is a good business idea. Looking at how much they're
but
selling out there.
they earn so much. Like it's so crazy. Like honestly, I just thought it's a good business. I mean, not London. Maybe London is too concentrated now. Maybe Nottingham, maybe Belfast, anywhere, honestly.
Say, well, small tip. Until now, there's only one Malaysian focused restaurant in Nottingham, and it just opened last year. Before that, there was nothing. So probably you had a right idea.
Yeah, honestly, I've no clue right now, but maybe, that finance degree would shape me anyway, or that computer science degree would shape you, like, that programming behind it, or whatever. I would say it's just about you choosing that profession that you don't have to really follow on that profession.
Exactly. I love that. Uh, all right. Now we have talked. We talked about your pursuit. Very interesting pursuit. Thank you for sharing that. Now we go slightly opposite and talk about your recent struggle. Like, what? Well, you kind of touch a bit on that. Like, Is
Yeah,
that your recent biggest struggle, finding jobs and all
yes.
that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of my recent struggle where I've been juggling a lot, securing that job in London from, application process, and then you have to wait for like doing that online assessment and then do that video interview, and then finally, oh yeah, you got that interview. And then suddenly, right, you do that research, and then maybe you get into that second round, and then suddenly, nah, pushing back to that again, that kind of that process is something right now I struggle. But I do think that yes, you do need that struggle to really get that job, because you don't want to go into that industry and be like, nah, it's not really for me, or like maybe it's not for you right now. Or they are trying to find the best fit, and you are also trying to find that best fit as well. So I think that's something I do struggle recently, and also on top of that, struggling with academics, the way I was telling you, LSE is crazy. They have 4 homework every week that you have to submit. You have to do case study. You have to collaborate with your friends. And yeah, I think that's something I struggle really.
See, I see. Sounds scary even to me, honestly. Uh, yeah, but thank you for sharing that struggle. I really appreciate it. I think,
Mm-hmm.
well, I think it's really just important to shed a light on every single individual where not
Mm-hmm.
social media, everything looks nice, but definitely there is
Yeah.
some struggles behind everyone.
Yeah, 100%. Like the way I put it in social media is just like my glamorous era, or like something that I'm happy of, or like whatever. But in real life, like I struggle what I want to eat my next meal, where I'm going to go, which bus I'm going to take later. Should I get umbrella? Like all this small thing, it's something I struggle. Or should I do my laundry later? Or could I wait for next week so I would save my £5 for this week? Like that's just that's just something I just cross my mind. Like yeah.
I totally relate to that. I totally relate to that. In fact, because like actually next week there's something exciting. So my dad's friend is organizing a text seminar, which there will be a bunch of like companies will be coming over. So I took that opportunity and asked if I'm able to get a 10-minute slot to kind of just share about my consultancy service. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
I got that, but until now I haven't prepared the slides and. I am. I still have podcasts to edit. I have like multiple things to do,
Yeah.
and then I was like, I haven't had me time for since I
Mm-hmm.
came back to Malaysia. I was like, I really want this me time later, but also at the same time, I was like definitely worrying about like, oh, what if
But
like I don't do well
yeah.
and all this. But I think it's sometimes it's important to balance both sides. So I'm definitely giving myself off like for the me time later. And yes, work harder after that. Work hard, play hard, I guess.
Yeah, I think though, like I often have this struggle, but I think the way one I like to think about it is, right, if I want the me time in next 2 hours, and maybe I need to get what job done, would I want to spend 2 hours of happiness and then get that, like would I able to get that job done after my me time? If the answer is yes, I'm just gonna, worry that about later. Like I'll be like, okay, you know what? This is something I would worry at 11 p.m. So now it's like 9 p.m. So I will get my 2 hours, my me time, whatever I'm happy of doing that. And then 11 p.m. I will start worrying, panicking. I don't know, like for you, but if I am in my panic mode, I get things done quick, like fast, like because I am in that panic mode. See, it's just me struggling or worrying if I want to put myself in that panic mode.
I see, I see,
I
I
mean,
see.
this
Okay.
worked for me, but I don't know for others. Yeah.
Interesting. Definitely a very interesting insight. There's moments like that where it works for me as well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I
would
guess
you want
this
to put yourself in that situation is also a question.
exactly that is a very good question. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yes, thank you for sharing about your struggle. Happy to hear struggles of a LSE student. Yeah. But yeah, now that we have done with struggles, let's go into something more positive. What is the one thing that you actually love about yourself?
That that's something that really made me reflect. Like I
Okay.
I think from me, right, people, I do have comments where people call me glue. So if I have that one plan, I would stick to anything that whatever it takes. So I guess I'm more into the determined person where if there's something like I want to achieve, I will like make my way to it. So like I would say the recent example is like me getting into LSE is a dream of mine because I can't get into during my undergrad. So I thought, right, you know what, let's try out for masters. Maybe I'll get in. And so I thought when I have that decision, it's not just about applying. Also, I know that right. I want to apply. I need to build a profile. I need to build my LinkedIn. I need to maybe put that extra mile doing my own website to showcase what I've learned and like what's my journey and that story behind me going to that university, and also maybe also what I did. I also joined like very active on extracurricular that kind of shaped me today. So I think that's something, if I wanted, I will kind of find A to Z solutions for it. I think that's something I really like about me. And I think give a very extreme example. Right. So in my graduation, because I know I want to look good on picture, I starved myself for 100 hours. I've eaten nothing. Yeah, it's just for me to, I want to have puffy face. I want to, make, because of my big day, like I need to look good. Like my family, they came all the way the flight to here, and I spent 4 years stressing out on my degree. Like I can't be looking back at that day. Like it's just me,
See?
my puffy face more slimmer, and so I start. I mean, I felt like that's just extreme. Like I starved myself for like 100 hours to lose a bit of weight to look good on cameras, on big events. And I think that's just me approaching things. So when I'm determined, I'm just gonna stick to it, get whatever I want.
See, I see, I
Yeah.
see. I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I honestly, I guess, definitely that's slightly unhealthy. Yeah,
That's
slightly.
100%. That's
Yeah.
unhealthy.
Yeah, nothing, but I guess it's fair to me for me to share a unhealthy experience as well. I guess like recently, honestly, I'm not sure what's happening to me as well. Definitely all these examples we're talking about, I guess it's just purely sharing. Everyone,
Yeah.
it's important to consult a doctor or medical professional to make sure that this is a good way for you. I personally I want to go on a medical checkup soon as well, like in Malaysia, especially it's cheap and all this because ever since I think back when I was in London, I for the final few weeks when I was in London, I started I talked to my therapist about this because it's so weird to me. My normal sleeping schedule has been like 11 to 6, and then for some reason I've been sleeping later, so like maybe
Mhm.
around 12ish, just because I was doing stuff, but then I was able to just wake up myself sometimes even
Mm.
before the alarm rings at like 5 something or like 6, which I was like worried about myself, like, what the hell is happening to me. And I'm enthusiastic. It's not that I'm quite excited for life, like,
Mhm.
which is worrying. It's good but worrying. And then once I'm back in Malaysia, I started waking up at 5 because of the reason which I run and all this. It's
Mhm.
better for me to wake up earlier, but it got better in terms. I think I have more time because now I sleep even less. I sleep at like usually 12 and I wake up at 5, and then same thing, was able to wake up sometimes earlier or like on time together with the alarm, which is very
Mhm.
concerning. I was like, I know that I have a lot of things to done, and then I'm happy about life,
Mhm.
but I'm just definitely want to check on whether my health is in check, especially together. I mean, like, I'm doing exercise, but my exercise are slightly more extreme because I'm
So
training
yours
for
is
a marathon.
extreme.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm training for a marathon. So I think a combination of this doesn't seem super healthy. That's why I was like, I need to go for a medical checkup
Mhm.
and make sure it's like, I think
Yeah, on the right track. Yeah. Mhm.
similar to
Mhm.
example where like it I guess when I have something I want to achieve, I think doing all this task, I will go this way, but I do want to make sure that I'm balanced. I'm not sure what's happening to me. Either I'm like getting turning into a superhero, or like I'm just like actually really damaging my health. Definitely I hope that it's a former, but I don't believe in that signs, so I will go for a checkup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely everyone, I understand everyone have like their own dreams, ambition, but still make sure that
Yeah, in the healthy
you're
place.
healthy
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. Like I'm sharing this, like starving myself for 100 hours,
An
not
example.
eating anything. It's extreme. It's crazy. That's just basically me cleaning up things in my body, and make
Oh,
to look good on camera. I want my last puffy face. It's just me being extra, basically. You don't have to do that, honestly. Like
yeah.
you can edit your photos. I know that you can do that. It's just me being that extra. Yeah.
See. I mean, like, very, very good clarification. Thank you for being honest about that.
Yeah, definitely that's my most like crazy experience that no, I was really surprised at that point how determined I can, like, you know what, I want to slim down in 4 days time. I've not eating in 100 hours. Like the stuff, when the stuff hits the morning you wake up, I need that toast, that egg, like you can't eat that. Like it's just you know what? No, no, no. It's my graduation. I can't. I have water, or like I have coffee, I have tea. Like that's yeah. But bad experience, don't do it, guys.
Okay. Thank you for sharing about like the one thing you love
Yeah.
about yourself, which is amazing determination. And thank you for sharing about the extreme example and then being honest about it. Yeah. So yes, just wondering. Definitely. I'm not sure what do you think of yourself today in terms of success, but definitely who you are today. You have a certain level of achievement which you have done, and wondering what is a significant failure or low point that shaped you who you are today?
I would say my life reason it's kind of I w- it's kind of smooth, but for me I would say a significant low point, maybe I would say it's when I first arrived in the UK. As I was saying, I was a kind of a very princess girl in home. I'm not cooking anything. I don't know how to iron my clothes and whatever. But I think the most importantly is because I coming from that Chinese environment where I go to Duzhou. It's basically the Chinese private school. So myself surrounded with people who speak Chinese fluently, and English is just not my thing back then. I don't really speak English. Like we learn it, I would say we learn it in a passive way where I can do essays, I can do whatever those that comprehensive thing, like vocab, spelling, like we have that all time. But if for me to speak fluently and be confidently in speaking English, it's hard for me, especially in that UK English environment. But I know, like, I put myself out there. I want to be more confident and more eloquent in speaking English. So that's kind of my low point when I arrived to UK. Uh, I struggled with people talking to me in English where I don't know how to respond. I'm a kind of a talkative person where I like to, express my stuff, but suddenly I don't know what I can say, or I kind of stumble over the words, or like, actually I mean this, but I can't really express what I really meant it. And also, like, I see how my friends being very eloquent on um, expressing themselves, and also, like, for example, an interview scenario, or like I do join like Malaysia clubs, or like extracurricular clubs where they really how eloquent they are in expressing ideas, which kind of hit my confidence. Like that's my first time hitting that confidence. It really kind of like wake up call, be like, you know what, I really need to improve myself on how I express things in English. And also sometimes I speak to the local. There's also that language barrier where I felt
And
it's
imagine the Irish accent.
oh yeah, it's just crazy. Like I learned English for the past 19 years, although I know it's a passive way of learning, and my friends and my basically I'm in that very Chinese environment. No one really speak English to me, and suddenly you speak in like what 10 times speed in an Irish way, which I just it got hit, like my confidence level is like what am I doing here? But I think over time that discomfort really hit me. So over time, I'm more like practicing on what do they really mean or how I express myself. So I think what I find it helpful is I start listening on podcasts on how people express things. Yeah. So I think, and it was COVID year, honestly, and
Oh.
the thing in COVID year, you have less interaction with people. And when you have that interaction with people, you will appreciate it. But that interaction is something you don't understand. Like you don't understand what is the people talking about. Or when you are talking something that people don't really 100% get you. So that really hit me a lot. So I start, kind of listen to TED Talks and podcasts, or, even like I think that's one time where like I know that I'm gonna to a social setting. I practice in that mirror. Like I practice what I want to say, what I'm gonna say, how would I say it, that kind of like to make sure that I'm confident enough to go into that social event and not just keep quiet or really talk to people. Because I know I'm a talkative person, but why I can't be talkative in English? That kind of really hit me. And I think
Okay.
all those struggle, these things kind of change gradually when I meet people, and also along the way, I'm kind of surrounded with that English environment. And so I would say one of also that proudest moment, I think now I can communicate in English better. And also I don't know, my friends always say that I have my own accent. Like it's not Malaysian, it's not British, it's not Irish. That's just Tong's accent. So I was like, okay, I'll take that.
Okay, yeah, it's good. You're building a personal identity, I guess, which is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing about that. I totally understand that. I think actually for 3 years in my life, I was in a Chinese independent high school as well, so I can totally
All right.
understand
Oh,
the
okay.
situation that you're in. But I was lucky enough that my dad has understood the importance of English
English.
environment, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that he really want to put me into overseas. So I then spent my final 2 years of high school in homeschool, which is the
All
friends
right.
that I met just now, amazing people. When I went there, it's like crazy. I remember the first time meeting them. A few of them are speaking in British accent. I was like, oh, what the hell? Like such a posh place. But they're really nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where I start building my English speaking confidence, and I think that really helps.
Mm-hmm.
So I can totally understand the struggle during that time.
Yes, I do agree on, people coming in speaking British accent. I just thought, oh my God, that must be a rich guy, or like, it just looks so elegant, and like, the way how they talk. And it's like, blah, 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 blah. I don't know, like, I don't know how to copy that accent, but I just thought, you know what, maybe if one day I could look like that, or maybe similar like that, it would be good. It will look good, look professional, and look something like you are well educated and you are position yourself in a good way. But honestly, it's about how you communicate yourself, or how you express yourself. It's not about that accent. But that
Yes.
confidence really hit me that.
Understand that, and I'm glad that you have overcame that, and then well be who you are today.
Yeah, it's kind of a long journey, I would say.
Amazing. All right, so actually very fast we're approaching the end of the podcast, so we have this one big question here, and just wondering, what's that one question have I not asked, or have you not asked, that you think everyone should ask? So it could be a question directed towards you or directed towards me.
Right. Wow, that's a good question. I think just now you did ask a question where I don't expect to share publicly on my long distance relationship, because I see what my thought is, normally romantic relationship. I like to make it personal because it's just me and him, or like it's just two of us. But since I put it like online on my relationship, so I thought would be good to, like, yeah, we did, and our relationship things doesn't work what I thought. But honestly, say for example, me ending that relationship, it's kind of also a hit on me, because I thought it would work out. I thought that, okay, maybe after my degree, I'll go back to Malaysia, or maybe settle down. At the end of the day, we would settle down in one country, because the end of that long distance relationship, both of you have to have that common ground, settle down in that country, or you have that plan to, at the end of the day, you would end of this long distance, you would exit that long distance relationship. But it did not happen. So we kind of agree, right? Let's just move on in our lives. And also, it made me realize what I want to really chase for, like what my pursuit in life, as what you mentioned. So I think that's something lot of my I would say lots of, not my close friends, like my friends, that they won't ask about it, or I did not share publicly.
See, I see.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I really appreciated you for sharing that. Right. Yes. So thank you for going through all this, and answering all the deep questions. But we have this final fun question that I would like to, ask you. Basically, always I get a book recommendation and a movie recommendation from each of our guests. So wondering what will be your recommendations? Yeah.
Right. See, I'm not a book person. So I think
Okay.
if you ask me what book I read, I probably would just say textbook, which is really boring. But yeah, honestly, I'm not a book person. So but the
Worries about that.
the
Yeah.
book that I read, right, it's what I wish to knew before I'm 20s. I think that's a book. What
Sounds so
I wish,
familiar.
yeah, that's a red cover book. What I wish
Okay.
to know before 20s.
Okay, thank you. Can you share me about like a bit, how what's it about or something?
Right, so this I can't remember the author, but basically this book it's when I think I bought it in my early 20s, like 1920s, my teenagers era, where I thought it's quite a cool book, and I bought the book of that intentional where I want to improve my English because I know that I'm going to UK at that time, and I know that people do read like storybooks or books to improve their English. I don't know like how the way you do it, but in a very Chinese setting, how they do it is they go to popular bookstore, they get English book, they highlight whatever vocab that they don't know, and then they check on the dictionary, and then you kind of memorize that vocab. That's how passive we learn English in a Chinese environment setting. So I think that's kind of my first book that I really bought for myself to learn, basically for me to learn English. But basically, that book is about that life lessons American professor that learned throughout his life journey and what he advising us on what mistake that he faced on his early 20s and what he would recommend. And honestly, I did not finish the book, obviously, because I'm just not a book person. I
Yes,
think I
okay.
only did like 10 page highlighting those words that I'm not I don't even know.
I see. Well, you
Yeah,
you
but
you 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 made your effort. It's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's good
Honestly,
enough.
I made that effort to buy the book. I highlighted it. I bring it to UK. I move it. Now it's in my bedroom. But I don't know. It's just I'm just not a book person. I'm more to a podcast person or a YouTube kind of person. Yeah.
That's amazing. What about movie? What will be your one movie recommendation? It could be any language.
Right. See, I'm a very Korean drama person. Like, I'm kind of dramatic, honestly, right? If you want me to recommend, like, see, if whenever like I listen to podcasts, if they want movie recommendation, they would do like a good movie. Like for me, mine is just like Crash Landing on You. It's a Korean drama. It's
Okay.
a good drama. The male lead is handsome. The female lead is pretty typical romance relationship where I learn about Switzerland. I know paragliding. I know how romantic Switzerland it is. And
Okay.
also I learn about the North Korea, South Korea kind of the their well how do you put like their war behind it and like how you can't cross the line, the border line, and how romantic the when the guy crossed the line for the girl, whatever. Like I just thought it's a good movie for like friends, like for you to watch with friends and then discuss the drama. I think most importantly the male is so yeah.
I like that focus. I really like that focus. But I mean, like nothing wrong with it. Like amazing. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't. Not everything has to be like super educational, good movies and all
It's
that.
not
Yeah.
education. Okay, basically it is like you learn about Switzerland, you know what's about that that red line between North Korea and South Korea. And then you also know what the beauty standards of Korea, maybe. Yeah.
It's amazing. That's amazing. I totally agree. I mean, like even for myself, I like if most people ask me about one movie recommendation, one movie that I really love, I always talk about Time. About Time is a movie by Richard Curtis, British movie. Really love it. It's a romance comedy movie as well. So I think yeah, amazing, amazing. I thank you for sharing this. I've heard about it many times, but now that you recommended me, maybe it's a good time for me to really look into it. But definitely, I have like so many movies, TV series recommendations from all the previous guests. So yes, slowly going on to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead. I mean, I watched it for 5 times, not because of how educational it is, it's just because how handsome and pretty it is. Like, the merely as but you have to be honest.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the honesty. I really love that. I really love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, well, thank you for joining this podcast, accepting the invitation to be on this podcast, and then sharing everything, being so transparent about it. I really appreciate our conversation here.
Yeah, I'm glad like that this is also my like, first podcast. I didn't expect like suddenly like someone followed me and asking me, oh, do I want to be in that podcast? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Okay, that's amazing. Well, I'm glad you've accepted the invitation, and here we are. But
Yeah.
yes, for the audience that would like to reach out to you, what would be the best way for them to do so?
Let's say Instagram. Like I'm quite active on Instagram or maybe LinkedIn.
I
Yeah.
see. Okay, that's amazing. So we'll put all the links down in the description below. Everyone who's interested can feel free to
Yeah.
just go ahead and just yeah, connect with you. And yes, final. Thank you so much
Okay.
for today's conversation. I really enjoyed it a lot. If you enjoyed the podcast, I would really appreciate if you leave us a 5-star review and follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, or if you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Thanks again for listening to Gen Z Journey. We'll see you again next week. Remember to subscribe to get notified as new episodes come out every Thursday, and please share this podcast to anyone you think would enjoy it. This is Andrew Kuan from Gen Z Journey.